him to show weakness in the face of the
Washington Post. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Quickly, I know that we are over time. And I want to say this. My name is Akbar Muhammad. I'm the international representative for Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Minister Farrakhan sends you his love and greetings. If he was not faced with some health challenges, he would be right here on this stage, lifting his voice against the slaughter that's going on in Gaza. And I want to say this, America represents a ship at sea without a captain at the helm. And whichever way the wind blows, and the winds are the handlers of Barack Obama. We all loved him when he came into office. But for him to show weakness in the face of the slaughter in Gaza is appalling. We need to say, Barack, be your own man. You know that it's wrong. You know what people are suffering. You're looking at it on the news every night. You know that collective punishment is against the law. You know that the Israelis have a design, 3 wars in 5 years, killing nearly 2,000 Palestinians each time in order to decimate their ranks. But he also knows that every time a Palestinian child watches his family wiped out, that do you think that he's going to come and say, I'll forgive you, America? It's going to be in his blood that I must take revenge for what has happened to my people. The Palestinian people must resist. I just want to take a minute. Look at the weakness of Egypt. On Monday, the heads of state from all over Africa will be here. They should take a page from 1973 when the OAU told the African leaders, send your Israeli ambassador home and bring your ambassador back and close their embassies to show their protest. They need to show that strength today. And if Barack sees that the world is upset with him standing by, one more thing I want to say. When he came out for a press conference for the Ukraine crisis, he started it off by saying, Israel has the right to defend itself. Israel has the right to kill babies. Israel has the right to kill old men and women and wipe out entire families. No, it's absolutely wrong, and we must lift our voices out. Free Palestine, free Gaza. Assalamu alaikum, thank you.
All right. Okay, brothers and sisters, once again, that's Akbar Muhammad, the International Minister of the Nation.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. My name is Preacher Moss, host of the SOS, the Shout Out Show. Come to you with a heavy heart. The man that you just saw, Minister Akbar Muhammad, who was the international representative for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, passed away yesterday. And it just so happens that it's this topic. Our topic today is disappearing of Black leadership. I don't really want to go too deep. I would say that the man that you just saw is a man's man. It's not just he was a leader in the Black community. He was a leader, period, who looked at justice. You see, the thing when you watched him is his advocacy for them, even as he's the representative of the Nation of Islam, he advocates for the betterment of the human condition. That video, brothers and sisters, is from August 2014. August 2014. And he's talking about Palestine then, and he's talking about the Ukraine then. I don't know what kind of slumber we're in. I don't know what kind of drugs that they're giving us, but that was 2014. This is 2026, and we're talking about the exact same thing. The only thing that's different is that Brother Akbar Muhammad has returned to his Lord to receive his reward. And what are we doing about it? We just lost recently Jesse Jackson. I thought that was sad and problematic in a lot of regards because a lot of people looked at Jesse's leadership. You know what? I need people to understand that leadership is not something that you take in a course. Okay, like a minister, Akbar Muhammad or Jesse Jackson, they're much akin in some regards to how we fashion the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. He did not learn leadership, brothers and sisters. What was it said? That he was unlettered? They said he was literate. They said he was illiterate. No, he was illiterate in the ways of scripture, but he was literate. brothers and sisters. And just the same as we talk about our brother, our dearly departed brother, I think we need to look at the essence of what's going on, because we're not replacing these leaders. We're not replacing these leaders. Could I follow a man like him? Yes, because he had integrity. He had compassion. He had mercy. When he was wrong, he was wrong. When he was right, he didn't rub it in your face. The idea of partisan politics does not play out in the human condition when you can look and see injustice. You can look and see that the child's not protected, that the woman's not protected, or even more so, that the whole idea of fairness, justice, equity, and truth are out of the window. I am of that ilk. I speak freely all the time. I have all praises due to Allah, a very unique and special relationship with the Nation of Islam. That some of the things that he talked about, you as audience members, you as people who come to the shows, you as people who have heaped praise on me, alhamdulillah, but it comes under the auspices of people like him. The ability to keep it straight. I didn't say keep it right, keep it wrong, keep it straight. The ability to humble themselves. I remember him doing that particular event, and I was a little upset because they put him on at the end. You didn't see what happened before. They put him on at the end, and they said, hey, listen, while he's talking, we can start marching out. I'm like, do you know who that is? And he still managed to walk up on that stage, command respect, give respect, and speak spiritually and speak from his heart and the idea of what was wrong. In his whole presentation, he didn't talk about the black man. He didn't talk about the black women. He talked about what he framed as God giving us a picture of what's just and what's not just. You know, when I started, Allah made me funny. He was one of my earliest proponents. He was the one that took it up the ranks. And I finally remember when Dick Gregory passed away, and I was there with Felicia Chappelle and her mother, Dave Chappelle's mother, and we were outside on a hot day, melting in Capitol Heights, Maryland, waiting to get into that church. And I called him on the phone. I got him on the phone. I said, good minister, I'm out here with Dave's mom. It's burning out here. I said, are you here? He said, no, I'm not there. He said, but I'm sending brothers out to come get you. And he came out and he got Felicia Chappelle and his mother and her mother, and they ushered him to the back. And I was perfectly resigned to stay and just stay in the heat in line with other people. He said, brother, you come too. These stories are going to become less and less and less part of the overall dialogue in community, in society. What you saw was a thought leader. And we're in a situation where thought leaders are being looked over and shunned aside for social influences. Social influences don't influence people of faith the way that they think they do. Social influencers are not people with likes and things like that. That's all you have. You don't have the temerity to stand up, be a man or be a woman, or in some regards, sacrifice to give for the greater good. In fact, social media is the reverse of that. It's not to give for the greater good. And I would position myself not as an expert, but as a witness. That the type of community building that Minister Akbar Muhammad built throughout this country is exemplary of exactly what Imam Qasim Ahmed did back in the day, and they all came out of the nation. And this is not an advertisement for the nation. This is an advertisement for all of us looking around, seeing what society offers us, and making a choice to be better versions of ourselves in spite of what we see. I'm going to take a quick break, and I'm going to be back. You know what? I'm going to hang on for a minute. Because I feel remiss if I don't say these things. And the reason I feel remiss if I don't say these things is the fear that they won't be said. That it won't come out of the words won't come out of the mouths of people in my age group. Because we've been lazy, we've been lied to and we accepted the lies. That somehow, when he was talking about the wars, if you will, the 3 wars in 5 years, if you look at where we are right now, it's 3 wars in 5 years. That we're talking about the decimation of people, human life, and it's spectator sport. And we're numb to it. Some of us are numb to it. Some of us are just damn cowards. To not speak on what we see is criminal. To not feel what that man felt in that video, to not feel what that man, and he did it with a way he wasn't angry. He wasn't an angry black man. He was worse. He was even something to even fear. A direct, clear, conscientious black man who understands that the value that he has, the goals that he has are aligned with his spiritual success. That the necessity of spiritual success ties over into the community. And people go, "Oh, preacher, what are you talking about?" I'm talking about the fact that we are down to our last black leaders. I can line them. I can name. Okay, we got Al Sharpton, right? We got oh my gosh, I don't know why I can't remember Bud's name. You know I am from Harvard. Cornell West, you know, and we can look around the Muslim community, and I'm like, we got leaders of masjids, but can you step out of that masjid and lead somebody that doesn't look like you, that doesn't pray like you? That's the magic of a Malcolm. That's the magic of a Muhammad. That's the magic of a Martin Luther King. Can you grow consensus in the worst conditions? I come on the show week after week after week, and I'm going to tell you something. I feel I have total impunity. You know why? Because I know if anybody would have come and direct a charge to me, I'm based with facts and I'm based with something else. Passion. If you really want to know some facts, I'm going to share some facts with y'all. Because I finally had to tell you this to a friend of mine. He said, "Bro, Preacher Moss, whatever happened? Allah made me funny." I said, "Brother," I said, "the thing with Allah made me funny, man," I said, "it got out of alignment." And the biggest failure of Allah made me funny, and I'm going to put everybody on there, is that it failed to produce leaders that could go from the stage to the pulpit to the minbar to the pool hall. It failed to produce leaders. And one of the biggest problems Muslim comedy is safe. It's safe. And we wait for everybody to come around and tell us what our brand is and tell them what our narrative is. Enough. I don't know how many years I got left on this earth. Hell, I don't know how many years I got left on this podcast. A lot could take me right now, but I'm going to tell you right now. If you're not going to stand up and frame your masculinity around leadership of this community, of your family, of protecting children, of protecting women, this is a done deal. We don't need any more podcasts. We don't need anybody else telling us what we need to do. You see, the danger of disappearing black leadership is that black leadership is transformational. Some of the heartfelt, deep dive social movements here in the United States was framed by what? Black suffering, Black resistance, Black intelligence, Black excellence. In the framework of this, like a Minister Akbar Muhammad or some of my other heroes, the framing of it is that leadership in trying to pull people to a proverbial promised land is that it wasn't selfish. The beauty of hip hop music is that it ain't black music. It may frame black suffering, issues in the community, but it's open for everybody. It doesn't shun folks. A Jesse Jackson didn't shun folks, yes. He was primarily concerned, first and foremost, with the wellness of his people because we were sick people. We were deluded people. Even now in 2026, you still have folks that believe that the government is working in your best interest. That Mandarin Orange 45, 47, what it is, feels like he can just talk to you any old way. 2 points, 2 very important points about Black leadership. If you're going to be serious, get off the social media. Get off the social media. Black leadership is organic. Get off the social media. It ain't about likes. It's about stripes. You got to go out and you've got to earn this situation. I've been doing comedy 40 years. I can walk to any comedy club. I can roll out my resume. You know what that says? I put in that work. I put in that work. Any microphone I touch, I put in that work. I can walk to a classroom. I put in that work. If it's civil activism, I put in that work. And many of you out there saying the same thing. You put in the work too. But the marketplace for the people that put in the work is dwarfed by the people that don't put in the work. The people who, like in college, there are those of us who protested against apartheid and we suffered. Some of us got kicked out of school. Some of us got suspended. Some of us got criminal charges. But when apartheid ended, there were people who say, apartheid ended. What did you do? Oh, I wrote a paper. I had a sticker. I'm not going to question your commitment, but damn it, it ain't the same. And Allah is the best of planners. Maybe that's what you could do. But let's not be foolish. Okay, let's not be foolish. Let's not overlook the fact that the capacity for Black leaders has shrunken. Because everybody, here it is, everybody want to be a leader. I was at Night of Power in Washington, D.C., Masjid Muhammad, I think it was last Monday. And Imam Talib Sharif was asked the question, did he choose to be an imam? And he said, no. He said what happened was the community looked at him and said, not just he could be a man, but he could be a leader. And in that space, he took up the mantra, not of being a leader, he took up the mantra for wanting to be a contributor to his community. That's a difference. We're not in this space whereby we have community anymore. Let me get some quick shout outs. So I know I'm running over. Give a shout out to Ree. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ree, how you doing, sister? Hope you're doing well. Ramadan is ending. I didn't get any turkey lasagna, but we're going to talk about that later. My main man from South Kakalaki, Eric Carter. What's going on, beloved? Wa alaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. If I don't see y'all also, I know Ramadan ends tomorrow, so Eid Mubarak in advance. My main man, Altaf Rashid from Toronto, Canada. We call him Mr. 6 o'clock, straight up, straight down, our Canadian envoy to the show. Wa alaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Eid Mubarak, my beloved. Bilal Salahuddin and his queen, Sister Sonia Dalton Salahuddin, tuning in. How you doing, big brother? Hope you're doing well. Wa alaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Eid Mubarak to you. My main man, my little brother, I don't know why I call him little brother. My brother JT joining in. Wa alaikum assalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. JT, tomorrow's the last day, man. You go back to eating chips at 7 in the morning, brother. It's okay. Okay, and JT threw out Andrew Young. Yeah, I agree with Andrew Young. Okay. I don't think we have anybody in Instagram land. Okay, real quickly. Let's see. We got Instagram land. Valentine Queen. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Juno Star. Like you said, I was just talking about this. Okay, Juno Star. I need you to help me. All right. Well, I do what I can, brother. I do what I can. So let me throw this out here because we kind of ran up on time. It's already 20 minutes. I need to put my money where my mouth is, and I am about to. You know, comedy for me was fun when I did it coming up, and I'm going to tell you why. Because amongst the comedian ranks, we had men who were men. I saw them not as just comedians, but I saw them as leaders. I saw them as heads of households. I saw them as community people. A shout out to C. Cardell Willis. He was a janitor at Jackie Robinson Middle School in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I think it's Jackie off of Our Street. And I remember him as a comedian not wanting me to come on the road. He really gave me a hard time about getting stage time. And it was revealed to me later on when I was older and a little bit more mature that he didn't think the issue with him was not that was it funny or not. He worried about whether this idea of being a comedian would somehow take me away from the goal of getting a college education. Now, to expand on that, on a road trip, he said essentially we have enough comedians, we don't have enough leaders. Let me explain this too. The idea of leaders, there's levels to it. And this is something that Minister Akbar and I talked about it. There's levels to it. And this leader up here may not even be as important as this leader down here. You can frame leadership a number of ways, but it's organic. It starts in your house. It starts with the decision makers in your house and how you watch them prioritize decisions. Even more so, how they prioritize decisions and how they adjust. Every decision isn't correct. Every move is not the right move. Every move does not produce what you wanted to produce. It's just like in show business. You know, you want a big laugh, it may be a medium laugh or no laugh at all. But you figure out how to balance it out to give a full presentation. Leadership, brothers and sisters, is what's lacking because we don't teach it. I say I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Yeah, you know what I have to do? I have to look at teaching leadership, reframing leadership. Leadership is a big deal in my house. It's a big deal in my family. And you know why it's a big deal? Because I understand that the present leadership in front of me has no value. It's defunct. The present leadership in front of me is corrupt. Why would you follow that? What's going on, Brother Muhammad? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Eid Mubarak in advance. The idea of leadership right now is, can we cut off the TV? Can we get off the social media? Can we close down the computer and communicate? Can you take an idea, a viable idea, and share it with somebody and have them at the end of your conversation find that idea valuable? Not valuable is it's just viable, but viable. Can they replicate it? Can they create a vertical on what you're talking about? You know, the beautiful part about Jesus is his collective understanding of creating nuance. Creating nuance. He had 12 disciples, but he created nuance, and each disciple was different. Each disciple had, for lack of a better word, a different type of emotion attached to what they were doing. We just talked about leadership, and unfortunately, it's in a vacuum. You know, I have to stop in some because I don't know about you. I have to extract myself from a lot of things that I see on TV now. I can't watch certain things on TV. The news is one of them because I have a big thing about somebody putting out something that's intentionally meant to mislead me. That if you say something out of your mouth, you have to know I'm going to go research it. If you tell me something, I'm going to agree with you, but don't get mad if for my own understanding, I want to find out exactly what you were talking about. It may be something in there that's even bigger than what you talked about. It may be a prohibition for me to not hurt myself, to create that discipline to be able to be functional in different surroundings. We all know what I'm talking about. But the nuance of Black leadership The nuance of black leadership is this, and I don't want to get too long-winded, is as much as it is as valuable as it is, the only thing tantamount to it is how feared it is. As much as we would marvel at a Mr. Akbar or our fathers or our uncles or our mothers, I'm putting women in there, there's a world that looks at that thing and immediately, on impulse, begins to figure out how to deconstruct it. If it was a bird with feathers, it immediately is trying to figure out, how can I pluck out all the feathers? And the diabolical nature of it is not that you take a razor and just shave it all off. You pull the feathers because you're trying to make sure that pain is inflicted, that everybody around watches this defeathering, knowing that it's painful, knowing that it's torture. And then the nuance is somebody goes, what are you talking about? I'm not doing that. I'm not, what are you talking? I'm not doing that. And you're doing it. We watch you. The most difficult thing about the video that you just saw with Minister Akbar is he is talking about Ukraine and Gaza in 2014. In 2014. He's talking about Netanyahu in 2014. 12 years later, we're still talking about Ukraine, Netanyahu, and Gaza. Leadership. So let me get to the wrap. Because you guys and you viewers have been very patient. Let me get to the wrap. The wrap goes like this. We are running out of divinely aligned black leaders because our compass is off. We don't value them. And it's not a changing of the guard like with the civil rights movement, with the SCLC and the civil rights and SNCC, because those organizations I just mentioned, they did breed different type of leadership. SNCC was younger. Civil rights was more attached to the political structure. SCLC dealt with the churches. They were all effective leadership models. My point now is we don't have an SCLC. We don't have a SNCC. We have an NAACP, which is still calling themselves colored after all these years. But what have I seen from the NAACP? The Image Awards, which is pageantry. But where's our leadership coming from? You know, I got in a little hot water because I told somebody I've never come across a leader of the Caucasian persuasion that impressed me, that would make me want to follow them. I'm talking about at a grandiose level, make me want to follow them. Don't get me wrong, I have friends who I think are good leaders in this space. Remember I said at levels, but taking me to the promised land, guiding me, hear me, guiding me in the way whereby I go from here to actively pursuing better versions of myself. It may be at different levels, but better versions of myself. I would advocate for all of us to invest, hold up, invest, and cultivate our thought leaders. The young folks that we keep pushing to the back of the line. Let's develop young thought leaders, and inshallah, we'll get another Malcolm or James Baldwin or Gandhi or whatever it is, the leader who understands that the balance of humanity is the thing that we're supposed to be focused on. All right, you guys have been great. Take care of yourselves. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings to my brother. Inna Allahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. To my dear brother, and friend, Minister Akbar Muhammad. Man, we love you. Thank you so much for your guidance and your wisdom. Take care, everybody.